Hi, BookTube. I'm here with another book haul. I enjoy watching these and enjoy filming them, and so I'm just not gonna apologize or justify having another book haul. But yeah, as always, these books are all from thrift stores. I never pay more than I think $3 for these books, so I'm not spending a lot of money. And you don't have to either if you're looking for books. Just go to your thrift store and look, because there's lots of good books out there, honestly. Including this one, which is one of my favorite books from this year. This is Minister Without Portfolio by Michael Winter. It was on Canada Reads this year. It's amazing, amazing, well-written story. I didn't have a physical copy of it, but I'm glad I do now. This is about Henry Hayward, whose girlfriend breaks up with him because he's not interesting. So he decides to go out and discover what it means to live an interesting life and the different ways that you can go about doing that. The next most interesting book, most exciting book I found was The World of Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and Teresa Patterson. So this is a collection of histories and legends and prophecies that have to do with the world of the Wheel of Time. And it's fascinating. Just looking at the contents, the table of contents, if you know anything about the Wheel of Time series, you'll know that like the Aiel people are really fascinating. They also talk about like the beginnings of the White Tower, the dragons. So we have Luce Theron and Arthur Hawkwing. The Seanchan people, like, this probably is a bunch of nonsense to you if you don't know the Wheel of Time, but it's a really fascinating compilation of stories and such that aren't included in the actual books. So this is kind of like extra material for the books and such. So I'm actually gonna delve in and out of this while I'm reading the rest of the series. And now on to these books. I picked up Disgrace by J.M. Coetzee. I realized a lot of these are Booker Prize winners. This is 1999. I actually picked this up on the recommendation of Hannah, and she recently changed her channel name, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. So I'll link her channel down below. And I got a nice hardcover copy of it. I found it in the thrift store. I said, she said something really good about this book, so I decided to pick it up. Anyways, that's enough of a ramble. It takes place in Cape Town, South Africa, about a professor who has to resign and then retreats to this small holding, is what they call it, a farm. And then life happens, as we know what happened in South Africa. I think that's what happens anyways. Yeah. This book I've seen going around a lot on BookTube, and I've kind of picked it up in the bookstore and was looking at it and thought, well, you know, I don't want to pay $20 for a book that I may or may not like, but I don't have a problem paying 50 cents for it, so this is like brand new. I don't think this copy was actually read. It's The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. This is about a man whose life is falling apart. His wife is dying. He's losing his business. His rare collection of Poe poems has been stolen, and he begins isolating himself and falling into depression, and then he gets a package which happens to change his life. Then we got this other, if I can hold it, other Man Booker book. I don't know what year this is from. This is Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. It's the story of a man who thought he had a great friendship with a school friend, but I guess his memory isn't all that good, because he gets a letter from a lawyer that says, you know, things weren't so rosy, and I guess stuff happens from there, so that sounded interesting. Then I picked up this, Fortunate Son by Walter Mosley. This is about brothers. We have Tommy, whose nickname is Lucky, but he's kind of like a sickly, they call him crippled, in the description here, and his brother, who's the complete opposite. He's like an Adonis, they said, and he's really into sports and getting good grades and being an all-around good citizen. And then it's they kind of take separate roads and take completely separate lives, and then they come back together and kind of see, you know, what happened between the two of them. The next one I got is Under the Jeweled Sky by Alison McQueen, and this is, I've been searching for books that take place in India, and this one does. It's about a woman named Sophie who's left India, and now she's coming back, and it's completely changed. So she remembers in India that involves Maharaja's palace, place of tigers, scorpions, and shimmering beauty. This was also, like, she comes back post-partition, when India and Pakistan became two separate countries, and she's kind of, I guess, comparing in her mind, you know, the old India that she knew to the India that she sees now. Okay, then we have Hood by Emma Donoghue, who's well known for writing Room, and this takes place in 1970s Catholic Ireland, and it's a story of two women who fall in love. I guess they fall in love with their teenagers, and kind of the stuff that kind of happens, because, I mean, it's 1970s Catholic Ireland, where it's not exactly acceptable to be lesbian, so. Then we have A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. This is a nonfiction. He's a well-known travel writer, and this is where he decides to walk the 2,000-mile Appalachian Trail, the entirety of it. So that's interesting, because he says he's just a long-held ambition to lose weight and get fit, or a brief bout of I can never say this word, masochistic insanity. So that sounds funny. Then I have Voss by Patrick White. This is an Australian novel. It's about a man who's traveling across the country of Australia in the 19th century to get back to his love. This is another exciting find. This is Star Wars Dark Force Rising. This is book 2 in the Thrawn trilogy. This was the original trilogy that kind of took place post movie 6, following Han Solo, Leia, and Luke, as they deal with the Empire now rebelling against their Empire, if that makes any sense. And Thrawn is just a fascinating villain. I think the new Star Wars movies have really missed out as including him as a character. Then we have this funny book called The Little Old Lady Who Broke All the Rules by Katarina Engelman Sundberg. It's about a woman in a retirement home. She's in her 70s, 79 she is, and she's starting to cause a little havoc in the home. And this is fascinating to me because I work with old people and in retirement homes and in their regular homes, and it'll be interesting to kind of see if anyone I see actually would fit into this kind of category of you know, being a troublemaker. And then I have this, The Great Tree of Avalon, Child of the Dark Prophecy by T.A. Barron. I picked this up on the recommendation of my cousin. It seems to be the world of Avalon after King Arthur and Merlin, and a prophecy that involves the true heir of Merlin, the only person who can save Avalon, and the dreaded child of the dark prophecy, the person fated to destroy it. So it looks like a big, huge book, but the writing's fairly large, so it should be a quick read. And lastly, I picked up this piece of nostalgia, the Babysitters Club Chain Letter book by Ann M. Martin. And I loved the Babysitters Club books growing up, and this is really cool because it's actually like actual letters that you can pick up, and postcards, and actual cards, and such. So it's really, you know, quite heartwarming nostalgia. I now see that I've been talking for a long time. I apologize for such a long video and for uploading so many book hauls, but it's what I do. Thank you for watching.